The Supreme Court is set to hear two cases this week that could potentially shape the future of internet content and how it's moderated. At stake is whether social media and tech companies can be held liable for certain recommendations to their users.
Yeah, for more on what we can expect, let's bring in NBC News legal analyst Danny Savalos. We're also joined by CNBC contributor and Wall Street Journal reporter Tim Higgins. Good morning to you both. Thanks for being here. Danny, let's start with you. This case, Google versus Gonzalez. A lot of interest in this one. It stems from the 2015 ISIS attack in Paris. We know that this college student there, Noemi Gonzalez, her parents making this argument against Google. What do we know about this case?
The family has sued YouTube or Google. These are companion cases. Gonzalez v. Google, and another one against Twitter. And they have somewhat different goals, but very similar facts. For example, in the YouTube case, the plaintiffs are saying essentially that YouTube aided and abetted terrorism by its recommendation algorithm. You know, when you go on YouTube and you watch stuff, it recommends new things and it automatically plays them when your video ends. So the plaintiffs are arguing in that case that by making those recommendations, Google is aiding and abetting terrorism. Or excuse me, well, Google and YouTube, they're essentially the same. YouTube is arguing, no, it's just an algorithm. And as long as we treat all people the same, we're not specially recommending things to terrorists, then we should be in the clear. The Twitter case is interesting only because the Ninth Circuit in the case below found for the families, not that they win, but that their case can go forward. So you have somewhat different outcomes at the lower courts because YouTube has won in the Gonzalez case at every level. So it'll be interesting what the Supreme Court does with this kind of split in the cases below.
Tim, let's bring you into this conversation. The tech industry has been criticized for not doing enough to remove harmful material from the internet. Can you give us more insight into how companies right now are shielded under the Communications Decency Act?
Yeah, this goes back more than 25 years. And essentially, Congress was deciding how the internet would operate. Would it be like a newspaper or a television station that can be held liable for defamation or other legal issues? Or is it going to be more like a town square where voices can go and be heard and the town square is not going to get sued? Essentially, it would be like, if I was on the phone and I was defaming you, you're not going to be able to sue AT&T. And so that's kind of the way Congress went, that this is a town square. And really the foundation for what we have now with Facebook and Twitter and all these social media companies. What's changed, however, is the business model. These companies are so sophisticated now at targeting that information to you that now the question is the algorithm that's generating this content to you, is that protected as well? So really a key kind of going forward, because if this was to be struck down or narrowed in some way, it could be very expensive, very costly, time-consuming for these companies to kind of redo how they kind of put third-party content out to the world.
Have to reinvent the wheel, it sounds like. So, Danny, we know Twitter's getting a lot of attention lately, including this case coming up on Wednesday. What else do we know about it and how it differs from the one with Google?
Interestingly enough, even the parties seem to agree that factually these cases are nearly identical. But in the Twitter case, the family suing Twitter is basically generally alleging that Twitter aided and abetted terrorism under federal anti-terrorism laws, which allows the family to sue in court and get triple damages even. So that case is moving forward. Doesn't mean they win. The difference between the YouTube cases, that's about the algorithm. There's a more concrete thing there that the plaintiffs are alleging is assisting terrorism in that it recommends things to terrorists to watch to help them. Not necessarily either plaintiffs are going to win, but this is about whether their cases move forward. And I'll take an even darker view. If the court comes down on the side of the families in both of these cases, it could change the internet the way we know it, because what internet provider, what platform in their right mind would allow anyone's user-generated content if they know they may be liable down the road for terrorism?
So we would expect that decision from the Supreme Court by the end of June. Tim, what are the ramifications of this decision? Danny just suggested what they could be. I mean, how will this case potentially shape the future of the internet?
Yeah, Microsoft, a warning in one of its filings that inevitably these platforms are going to allow less information from third parties out on these sites just because of the potential liability there. The other concern here is kind of the litigation that these companies would face going into the future. You can imagine all of the content on there, what would potentially generate a lawsuit. Not that they would win it, but the kind of the time consume of all of that, and just the idea that these platforms would not allow for the same kind of creativity that you see there now. So, the concerns there are that essentially they would change how these platforms operate on the day-to-day.
Wow, some potential ramifications here. Definitely something to watch. Danny and Tim, thank you.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.